for me and for you. It's been a long time coming, Rob Stardom. How we doing, my man?
Man, I'm tired, but I'm super excited to be here. But I need to apologize to you because I told you I was going to come to West Virginia and do an interview. Well, I just drove through West Virginia and we're doing an interview virtually, so I'm still a man of my word, but you know how it is.
He drove by, honked the horn at me, and he was gone, man.
I flipped you the bird.
I didn't see that. Okay, good to know.
I want to tell you, so to save money, I don't know how it works, but there are these toll roads in the U.S.
Oh,
You have to pay money.
it's
So I'm like,
horrible.
screw that. So I was driving back road, winding roads in West Virginia. It was actually pretty cool, to be honest with you. I saw
That's
two deer.
That's exactly what we did on the way back last night. We missed the tolls and we hit all these. And like you say, the roads are super turny. It's insane out here.
How does it work? You just give them $5? Like, is there somebody there you pay or what?
There is people there. My buddy's got an easy pass, so you just take the easy pass lane. You just go through and you get like a monthly bill.
Real? Oh,
That's the way to go for wrestlers.
oh no, it's kayfabe. The tolls go the winding road.
Go around.
$5, $5.
What use on those roads though? I mean, you can't put a price on that. Those roads suck.
No, I thought they were awesome. I'm like, this is so cool. My kid's with me. It's like, this is a roller coaster, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I'm a good dad. And
If you look at it that way, it's good then.
I'm a positive guy, Spooky Lou.
We're glad to have you then. We try to be a positive show. How cool was the U.S. tour? How cool was it come down to the U.S., Rob Starr?
Oh, it's so good. I still have one more shot in. I think it's in. I'm off tomorrow, but I have one more shot in Chicago on Tuesday for like IWA something.
You're right on. There's a few.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'm beat. I'm beat the hell. Like, I didn't do a very good job of advertising my vlog from yesterday, but I finished the show in Dyersburg, and it's a 9.5 hour drive to Virginia to go work for Jimmy Valiant, and he said he's going to be there at 11 in the morning, and it's Boogie Woogie Jimmy Valiant, so I didn't have much time. So I slept in a car park or in the rest stop for 2.5 hours, and so yeah, for the last 2 days I got 2.5 hours sleep, and I'm begged, and I haven't edited my Boogie Woogie Jimmy Valiant 81st birthday vlog, which I'm very excited to put in there. But I also I gotta get my camera because I need to get some footage of what's happening here because I gotta get this on my vlog here, like some serious stuff here.
What's going on over there, Rob Starr?
Hold on, I don't have it ready. I'm sorry. Look at me. I'm with Spooky Lou. Even his logo is going to be on my thumbnail. I had my kid do that. My kid started doing my thumbnails for the U.S. tour.
Thanks,
so it looks
kid.
Looks a little better, right? But I know you can't see Spooky Lou. He's in kayfabe mode. I mean, I think everybody watching this knows about wrestling. You're probably going to get no viewers from me, Spooky Lou. So just so you know.
It's not about the viewers. It's about talking to Rob Stardom for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way I look at it. I don't care if we get any views. I'm going to pick your brain. I want to see what's going on in Rob Stardom's life.
Sure.
How was the not you don't have to name no names or anything, but I'm very curious how the XVW in Ohio experience went for you.
You know what I think it's good. Who did I work? I worked a Premier, I think, and a guy we both broke in 99. I in my heart I know when he found out he's working me, he doesn't know who the hell I am and probably thinks I'm just some yahoo coming from out of town. I know that's what I usually think when I'm in my dressing room and a new guy comes in. And we had a nice, easy match. And he's like, oh, thank you. It was so easy and good, So it was great. And I'm sure if you watch my vlogs, you'll know that from time to time, I like to drink beer. And some of the Winnipeg guys do some crazy stuff. So I think the Ohio guys are like distant cousins from Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. If you see my shirt there, it says Winnipeg Pro Wrestling Capital of the World. Shout out to my sponsor, firstrow.ca. I wish you could cue their commercial, but you can't on yours, but I'll do it on mine. But I think if I lived in Ohio and I wasn't married with children, I'd be dead in a ditch somewhere.
I guarantee it. God. It's rough out there, man. God bless you for surviving it. Hey, and you know what? I feel like a heel. I'm holding up the Jimmy Valiant vlog, so thank you for joining me.
But I need to tell you more about that Ohio booking
Oh,
because
please.
very stressful. So I got, and everyone was like, Rob, how you line up all these dates? And I'll tell you, it's grinding, hard work, research, blah blah blah. Because I want to keep busy. I don't like days off. So I lined up this XVW, not really knowing who to talk to, but through their Facebook Messenger, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in Chicago doing a shot in Chicago, and the next whatever day it's all looped in, but it's like the next day or the day after I'm supposed to be doing that show in Dayton. And oh, what's the booker's name? But I get a message from the booker saying, I didn't know you're booked. So I sent him a screenshot of like, here's from. So apparently,
Uh,
I believe somebody went into their Facebook Messenger and said, sure, come on down, man. So I wasn't even really booked.
hey, I could
But
do that with the RSW Facebook if I wanted, so I could see it
please,
happening. Yeah.
because I sent him a screenshot. I said, man, I'm not ribbing you. Like, this is what and he knew it too because he sent me like, what the hell's going on here, man? He's like, I'm sorry. I don't, so I'm panicking. And I'll tell you, so this booking I have tomorrow in Chicago area,
Hmm.
they kind of kayfabe too. They're like, we arranged it like 2 months out, and then nothing. Like I send like a week out. Hey, I'll be coming. What time do you want? I play down. What time do you want me there? You know, it's always an hour before bell time.
Right.
And what's the address? Even though I could find it, it's just to keep that conversation going. And I was ghosted, silent, and I'm thinking, oh my fucking god! But literally 20 minutes ago, I get a message from them saying, okay, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, man. So the best contact
Hmm.
out of all of these promotions, that's not fair. Minnesota, those guys have known him forever. So those guys were always chatting. But out of every group I didn't know, Boogie Woogie Jimmy Valiant, the man, the myth, the legend himself, he sent me like 10 messages.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm promoting you, brother. I'm promoting you this and this and this and everything going good. Like, I just can't believe it. And super humbling. So I'm there, and him and his wife come up to me, and they're like, "Man, I can't do impressions, but just pretend I'm Boogie Woogie Jimmy Valiant." And like, "Man, brother, we've been following your journey on your vlog." I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Holy shit!" And then, so it's crazy. Like, I don't know. You might I sometimes kayfabe things on the vlog. I don't like people. I don't want to make anything look like I don't necessarily like or disagree. But
Hmm.
they do a lot of things where the fans are right there and the guys are training. A little bit different from how I am in the business, but there's a young kid, and I'm not gonna lie, the kid's maybe like 7 years old, and there's a guy there that I guess was a worker, although he wasn't on the show,
Hmm.
and they're working on first bump, and they're kind of struggling. And I think it's like a dad thing, fun thing, a first bump. And then this lady comes up, and she's super polite, and she's walking this 6 year old kid through how to do this bump, and the dad, and everybody's listening and nodding is so nice. And I'm like, because I didn't know who the workers were, who to like. Everybody's mixed, like it's crazy.
Right.
So I go and shake that hand because I could tell like this person knows what they're doing.
Hmm.
I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm Rob, and I don't know if you know this name, but the lady says I'm Desiree Peterson.
Okay.
Now, former like that's like a former WWF Women's Tag Champion, a
Oh.
fellow Canadian wrestler who I like popped. I'm like, oh my god! And then the craziest thing, because I always tell everybody, and I believe this, like I'm a nobody. I truly am. Like I'm a nobody struggling for 500 views per vlog,
I
right?
feel it.
And and she says, I know who you are. I've heard of you. And I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like,
Hmm.
to me, you're a freaking idol. And a big mark for Canadians, right? Because I'm a Canadian,
Of
but
course.
big pop, right? Like, these like the two like most famous people there, and they know who I am and are kind of following what's going on. So truly humbling.
Yeah.
And I know you want to ask me questions, but I, I've never actually talked to you, through text and things like
Yeah.
that. But I want to know, how did you find my vlog?
Okay. It was recommended. I was watching probably Cultaholic News or something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it was a recommended video on the side. and I remember it to this day. It was when old boy from NXT no showed the show.
Oh yeah, that got, you know what, I can't explain YouTube, but that one got over 1,000 views, like boom, like that, right? And I don't want to put clickbait or anything, but I mean that really happened. He didn't come,
Yeah,
but and then you just started watching.
it was just fun, man. It was
Yeah,
right at that time. I was getting into the business myself,
yeah,
and I'm like, these dudes in Canada are just like these dudes here, and it was fun. I could on the weekend I could go hang with my people, and
yeah,
then check in and see what you're doing with your people because you should. Let me ask you this: I've
yeah.
catch some slack here and there from some of the old heads because I'm exposing the business a little bit. They said, have you caught some slack on your end?
Well, I can tell you this. So I'm one of the old heads. Like
Right.
I'm wrestling 25 years. Usually, if I'm sitting in the dressing room looking around, there's a few guys. Like I could say names because I mean, who knows if people will know, but like Bobby Collins has been around longer than me.
Yep.
Easy Rider, Mental, like those are guys in my main dressing room that would be around longer.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them really want to be on it. The only thing, and I edit it out, is occasionally there's a worker that maybe wears a hood,
Okay.
and in the dressing room if there's no hood on, and then great. So for Pro Wrestling Mid South, I've done like 4 shows for them,
Mm-hmm.
and the promoter says I don't care what you do, just keep kayfabe. So I do my best, and most guys now are feeding for it. They're coming to me and hinting at I'll video anybody. Like I don't go, hey, you want to be on my vlog? No problem. I don't want to force people on the vlog, but I had to. I noticed, and I know there's no, like, this is mostly people in the business watching this. So
Mm-hmm.
I noticed in the background, like way back, there was maybe 2 guys talking that potentially shouldn't have been talking if they were in the back, if you know what I'm getting at.
Right on.
So I like cropped them out. So if you from time to time, if you like ever watch my vlog and you see someone's face is like this or however it is,
Mm-hmm.
that's because I've like totally cropped and tried my best to crop everything out so you can't see what's going on.
Oh,
Um,
good
and
on you.
and also, if you notice, this is very important for you to really look at.
Okay.
A guy I feuded with, like, how many times is Danny Duggan on my vlog? Because I
Yep.
don't talk to that son of a bitch. I hate him. He's a bad man,
Mm-hmm.
right? I did, like, on my Mid South. I worked with Brandon Ray, and I saw him in the dressing room. I wasn't supposed to work him the first night. I have a short conversation with him on the vlog, but then I found out I'm working him, and that's it. And then last night I work them.
Mm-hmm.
No things on the vlog till the end where I'm leaving. A quick conversation with him, kind of blah blah blah. So
Sure.
I really try not to talk to people that I'm, especially if I have a feud, because I don't like those guys. Like if I'm feuding with somebody, I don't like him. Like I don't like Danny Duggan.
Okay. I like it. So,
Although he texted me like a half an hour ago,
mm-hmm.
and I don't like him. So you got to see, like, so there is a little bit of kayfabe there, 100%.
Hell yeah.
Um, in a different way though, because if you watch WWE TV or when they do those shows with about the guys, there's no kayfabe.
Yep.
This guy, he's supposed to be a mute, and here he is as a kid, as speech giving speeches or whatever. Like you know what I mean? Like
Uh huh.
it's everybody knows that, but.
And that was my argument. I said, every AEW's got all access. I said, why
Yeah.
can't we show? And that's half the beauty. We're only showing half the beauty in the ring. The other beauty is
Only
the camaraderie and the fun.
The only difference is this, Spooky Lou.
Okay.
Guys know if they get in the ring with me that it's no kayfabe. I'll hit them. So
Well, hell
I'll tell you
yeah.
that. So they know, like, I legit, right? So it's all good.
How are you still going at such a high level at your age? Like, and
Oh,
I mean, nightly sometimes, 3 or 4 shows, 5 shows, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
putting up a vlog. Like, what the hell's going on?
I'll tell you. So original. So I'll answer that question, and then I'll kind of circle into my own thing where I'm not going as good as I used to. I had a couple injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I got injured in the run to remember, and usually maybe have like a little injury throughout my career, and it goes away. I'm still dealing with injury where my cardio is shit right now. Like I'm I'm skilled where I can work around it, But in reality, I need to drop 20 pounds to really go like I want to.
Mm.
But also, I'm the heavy when I'm heavy, it's good for hard hitting and wrestling heavyweights. So it's a yin and a yang. But I'm
Mm.
not. I appreciate you saying that, but I'm not. My level is down, and I'm working smarter and as hard as I can. Like I give as much as I can.
Right.
Um, I'm hoping that, and every day I feel like I'm getting healthier and healthier, like injury wise. So I'm hoping soon I'm going to be back there. And I just like I prove like how many shows I do. I just did this big string of shows. Like I can just do I can just do shows. I can do a show every day. It doesn't matter. Like
Sure.
smart, not hard. But um, I want to say like if you a lot of people if they meet me they go, so your intros, your vlog says, you're a Canadian indie wrestler. You probably never heard of me, and I'm winding down my career.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, so when, like, what's going on? And when I did a vlog where I'm like, or maybe a post where I'm like, I'm not working. This is gonna be my last Primo show, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody assumed I was retiring. And before COVID, I was ready to retire. I
Mm.
wrote a book. I have a. I tell us everyone I wrote a book, and I can go publish it on Amazon right now if I want. But I don't know. You get those jitters. What should I do? Blah blah blah. But I was ready to call it quits, and then COVID hit, and I was like, I don't want to call it quits during COVID. That fucking sucks,
Yeah.
right? At least give me a couple matches I really want to do or something, and call it quits. Maybe at that point it'd be like I want to go to Japan one more time and call it quits.
Mm-hmm.
COVID hit and everything slowed right down, and I'm like, this sucks. And I'm like, I'm sure everybody watches. I think everybody watches YouTube. I know I watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm like, oh man, I should just try this. And so I started doing vlogging, and my first stuff was horrible. Like I even think now it's horrible. I can't get the fucking sound right. But you know what? I'll tell you, some of the things I watch on YouTube, it's not right. As in, the editing isn't good.
Yep.
Like it's about the person, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I feel that most people that watch my channel are integrated with me personally, so
Yeah.
they know I'm not perfect. Although I try my best to fix them. Sometimes I try to do quick turnaround. I don't know if you notice that, but I try to do it the same day the show.
Yeah.
So I'm literally like falling asleep editing, and I'll like wake up, whoa, and then I'll finish it, and then I'll post it, and the next day I'm like, I better watch that through, and I'm like, oh fuck, why did I do that? But
Yep.
but I want to give that quick turnaround. To me, that's very important.
Yeah.
Um, and the funny thing is, the messages I'll get. So I'll get a couple. Hey, the you got no sound in this section here or here or here.
Mm-hmm.
The funniest thing is, there's been vlogs, and I challenge you to find them, where I've got like a booger up my nose,
Yeah. Right.
or something in my teeth,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody says shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the real, like if you're my bro, you're gonna be like, hey, you should go back and watch that vlog. It looks like you got you could see a booger in your nose for this section, or you got like a big chunk of food in your tooth right there. Nobody says shit about the real things. They should be like, hey, buddy, you should look out for this. They're like, hey, I noticed you changed your intro and you need to up the sound now in the music. When usually they're bitching the sound is too high in the fucking music. So I just laugh. I'm like, what a bunch of marks. Just tell me I got a booger in my nose. You can show me you love me.
I'm glad you mentioned that quick turnaround. I like capitalizing on the hype. I try to get the matches out for RSW.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm getting them out right now from last night, So
Oh, cool.
and I don't know how you do it. You wrestle, then drive, and then edit. It's hard enough just to edit. Like people don't know. To get the good stuff and try to condense it down. Me, like I don't want to leave anything on the editing room floor, but you have to
Mhm.
keep it interesting.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
bless you, Rob Stardom.
And and I do a shit job editing, and I know it. Like if you watch all this, how to be a good YouTuber and stuff, they're like,
Mm,
cut out all the dead air and cut it right down, and this and this and this. And no way, man. I'm one of those artists. I actually think I am an artist where they splatter it out there, and that's how it is.
I feel
Right?
it. I feel it. I'm watching those same YouTube videos and I'm doing it my way too. So hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because people give me advice, I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because I'm doing this tour and I'm vlogging every single show,
Hmm.
and it's actually watering down my views. Am I getting more overall views? Yes, but is each vlog getting as much as they usually do? No.
Right.
And I say to myself, well, if I just did one vlog a week, then it would be better. But that's not what I'm doing, and it's I don't think it's fair to those companies. A lot of companies now want me to work for them so that they can be on the vlog. It's
Hell yeah.
crazy, right? I find it. I'm like, wow, I can't believe that. And then guys are coming up to me going, man, I'm following your stuff. So the vlog, like, it's a great tool, but I love doing it. And the amount of things, the good stuff that I don't show because I don't want to show guys with the heat,
Right.
like heat in the back. I kayfabe that. I cut it out.
Hmm.
Or there's other stuff like I kayfabe because you're asking about that. Like, and the guys know. Like, I'll be like, don't worry, that's not going in there. Okay.
Same. I got
So.
videos that's just for the boys. I'll send it to the boys through Messenger if they want to see it. Yeah, man. We look at us relating, just relatable as hell. We can talk
Yeah,
YouTube
for
all
sure.
day. People probably want to hear about your wrestling. Let's talk about how the
Sure.
vlog kind of changed. Did it change your career? Can you say that?
Well,
It's been a while, and I mean, you've run some shows, you've headlined. I mean,
yeah, yeah. But no, so I'm gonna tell you,
hmm.
my career was probably at its peak in like, oh, I don't know, 2002. It went
Okay.
downhill since then. You would see my name in all the Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines. Like, it'd be like NWA Canadian or NWA champion Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles #1, someone else, Rob Stardom like #4. Like,
Hell
come on, I'm in
yeah.
all my names in all those magazines and that, and I was young. I had a build, I had a tan, and like, oh, look, like I was going down to conventions, like that kind of stuff, right? And I feel that it went down from there. From 2002, was I as good? I'm a way better worker now. I mean, than I was then, but I feel like it went down. That was my pinnacle, I would say. But other people might disagree. They might say, no, no, Rob, you started going up when you went to work in Mexico, or when you worked in England, or when you did your first tour of Japan, or second, or third, or fourth, or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, I've always been like, if you look way back into my career, like I was champion for like Top Rope Championship Wrestling, which was a company I made a living wrestling for them exclusively.
Nice.
I was a heavyweight champion, right?
Hmm.
I went to the NWA, I was a heavyweight champion, right? Like most of these companies throughout my career, I would have a singles title run.
Hmm.
But when I came to CWE, I was in a tag team. I was a tag team champion. I think I was a tag team champion there 3 or 4 times. I mean, I don't know, but maybe not featured as a singles guy. But what's my role? If I'm, you can't be the feature star of every movie,
For that
right?
long, my goodness, you know.
Yeah, so you need to change it out, and I'm good for that. And now there's evolution again. Like I think I'd like to start challenging for that CW heavyweight title and see where it goes. Like, I know I could go over to Primos and win that title right now. I could brainbuster that kid and call it a day. He knows it too. So, but my long term, I'd like a shot. I'd like a shot, and then I'd love Danny Duggan to come back, and I'd like to like rub his nose in that title in reality. But so that's what I'm saying. In my eyes, my it's not YouTube hasn't taken my career up. It,
You're right.
when I
You've been
when I was in
there.
Japan,
Hmm.
none of like just I don't know how long ago it was, whatever, 6 months or um, nobody's like, oh, this guy's YouTube. You know what they say? NWA Canadian champion.
Hell yeah, good. Hell yeah.
So, but that is good. But then it makes an old man like me go, wow, people remember me from 2020 or 2002.
Yeah.
It's at that time it was 2022. So everything I did for 20 years is, you know what I mean? So, but a lot of people don't know that stuff now, these newer fans.
Yeah.
And they would just see me as tag team with like Bobby Collins or whatever and doing my role there. Now they're seeing a different thing. And I broke into the business as a babyface and long stint as a heel. I love this vlog has forced me to be a babyface. You know, like
Yeah.
I wanted, although crazy. Speaking about being a babyface, so the second I crossed the border of the U.S., for some reason
Mm-hmm.
they want to boo me because I'm Canadian, and that's
Okay.
okay. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Although in Ohio I was a babyface. I
Was
guess they
it?
like yeah, yeah. I guess they like Canadians, but so I mean, I wouldn't say that YouTube's catapulted it, but if anything, YouTube has helped me express my art form a little bit more and give me some more revenue, which I really, for me, if you're ever in the dressing room with me and you're a young guy, I talk a lot about different ways for them to be able to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know how tough it is to try to have wrestling as your only gig and not live in your parents' basement. You got
Yeah.
to pay the rent, you got to buy the diapers, like all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm always talking to the guys how they can generate more revenue, and it's unbelievable where a guy will, like a person will tip me $50 for a YouTube vlog. It
Yeah.
just blows my mind. Like literally, I'm going. This person just gave me $50 with like a YouTube. What was it, like super fan or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And
The
then
super chats and such. Yeah.
yeah, and then to buy me beer and bologna or buy me a coffee, like the amount of money, I just go, wow, these people are giving me money. And YouTube's free, right? Like you don't
Yeah.
have to pay for it. Like I could not imagine. Like let's pretend there's no YouTube and we're still watching the TV, just the TV. I
Right.
couldn't imagine putting $30 into an envelope and mailing it to, let's say, Jennifer Aniston from Friends. Well,
Good point.
maybe for Jennifer Aniston, maybe, but but you get what I mean, right? Like it's something that it's just not a thing, but now it is, and it's great because when you really break it down, how much money am I making from YouTube for the videos? Like
Yeah.
$10 maybe, like $10 a video max.
Hell yeah, you're doing. You're
Um,
kicking my ass.
yeah, like I mean, come on, man. Like you're not making much, but then so I'm going, okay, I'm doing a wrestling show, I'm getting paid X, I'm making this money from YouTube. These guys are buying me a coffee, but I'm putting in the work. It'd be different if I'm not.
Right.
I'm working hard for that extra income, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Obviously, yeah, like I say,
grabbing
it's
grabbing
incredible
the
how.
beer cans, grabbing
Mm-hmm.
the beer cans from the locker room. I tell every young guy, I can't believe you're leaving. Like, there's $3 you guys are leaving here. Don't be a mark. Like that $3. I paid in college. I paid my hydro bill. That's like I'm sure that's like power bill. Your power bill in the States
Okay.
with beer empties. I had a whole wall of beer empties. I mean, that's a money losing venture if you're paying for beer. But it was a hell of an experiment. You know, it's good, right? So for me, I really enjoy teaching the young guys that business aspect because nobody teaches them that. They don't understand.
Hell yeah. What can you tell me about those young guys? Who's the ones that's listening to Rob Stardom, listening to the other veterans, and really making a name for themselves
Well,
right
it's
now?
it's funny because they're not even young anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love young Sammy Peppers. I
Yeah.
love him. He's learning. He's working hard, but he's smart. That's you could be young and work hard and listen, but you also have to be smart. And he's a smart young guy. I like that. I just wish he was more. I'll say it right to his face. More manly, as in like tough. He's got to toughen up
Okay.
because there's no way if I would have if we're gonna amateur wrestle, he'll be crying. but but I need to do that with him too, right? So I need to teach those guys, and someone like Bobby Shank, he's came a long way. I always tell the story where Bobby Shank first came from Lance Storm's training
Mm-hmm.
and comes to like a CWE show, and I think it might even been the Rumble to Remember. So there's lots of guys there. He
Mm-hmm.
comes in and he like sits down and doesn't come see anybody, shy young kid. And I am healing on him because sometimes I like to stir the pot a bit. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
didn't Lance Storm teach you to shake anybody's hand when you come into the dressing room?
Oh shit.
and later on, because we have a great relationship, he's like, Rob, I was scared shitless. So like a kid like him, he's not a kid anymore. He's a grown man. Like Bobby Sheen's a good grown man.
Yeah.
He's making his mark.
Uh-huh.
But the advice that, and it's tough to give this advice, and I don't think people really want to hear it, is especially from a guy that's never made it. Like I'm a nobody, but if you want to make it, you need to get the fuck on the road, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your town, go lose some money somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? You got to like go somewhere you could work every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to, because and it's tough. A lot of these guys now, the older they, and I've been caught in that trap too. At a time where you get older, all of a sudden, wife, kid. I don't want to say trap like a bad thing. Having a kid's the best thing in my life, right?
Right.
You got to start paying those things, and all of a sudden, man, the beer cans from the show isn't paying. That might get me a can of tuna, but it's not getting my wife and kid any food or diapers or milk or anything. So you got to get that job, and that job all of a sudden wants you to work evenings and weekends,
Mm.
and then you're stuck and you're screwed. In it, I mean, you grow your real career, your other career, and hopefully it blossoms and you can have a successful life. But if you really want to make something of this business, you got to get out on the road, put the miles in, take the bumps, and make it happen, because nobody's going to make it happen for you.
Yeah. It's
So,
not easy. For
no,
sure.
no. And like, I know lots of friends are telling me, oh, I just got back from Mexico. I'm like, did you work anywhere? No. I'm like, man, I went to Mexico and work. Why can't you go get a booking? Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, it just, the guy's got to get out and work.
You had mentioned that the Peppers wasn't tough, and he needed to be made tough. Is there still a lot of that going on in Canada? We still making guys tough?
That's a tough question.
I know.
I'll tell you what. So I've trained people many different ways.
Okay.
Um, I trained people where nobody graduated ever
Yeah.
when I was younger. Nobody graduated
Ooh.
through amateur wrestling. Yeah, nobody graduated. Amateur wrestling, physical fitness, and I was a young machine, but it's different. I was getting paid to do that. So
Yeah.
then I train people where I'm making the money,
Mm-hmm.
and the more they come, the more money I make. Where I was the nicest guy in the world, where, hey man, come on in, and I'll take care of you, no problem. Let's keep coming back, and but there has to, the amount of times I see young guys with like a handprint on their chest, or maybe a bloody lip
Mm-hmm.
or a little bloody nose or something, and they're bitching in the back about it, and I'm just thinking, like, did you sign up for ballet?
Right.
Like, if you were playing, so hockey's big in Canada, if you're playing rec hockey
Mm-hmm.
and something happens and you boom, like, and are you going to be a pussy about it? Like you're going to play the sport. That's what you're
Right.
doing, right? So it's the same thing, right? Like, sometimes things happen, and you got to train your body to be able to take it. Um, I The time has passed where you need to be able to go in the bar and choke everybody out and stuff like that. Like, that's not a thing anymore,
Okay.
right? It's not, but I still believe, like, I showed guys today in the dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, this might be a very, like, what are those things people say, like, unpopular opinion.
Uh-huh. Hot take.
Watch closely. So when someone takes the arm
Mm-hmm.
and goes around, right, takes their arm, everybody right away hooks up to this, right?
Okay.
See, that's what they do. They hook up,
Uh-huh.
wrist lock, right, top wrist. Everybody. So I showing the guys. I'm like, don't let me take your arm.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it like you don't want me to take it.
Okay.
And I hook onto their arm, and I go around, shoot,
Uh-huh.
and I twist it. Their arm is twisted hard.
Okay.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to let go of this grip, what happens if I've got your arm like this and I let go to reposition it? The guy's going to move his arm out of the way.
Right.
Like, they got to know the real way to do it, so then they can maybe work it properly.
I love it.
Because
Mm-hmm.
just do three. The real way to do it is very important, and You know, if you're getting choked
Mm-hmm.
and you're banging your heels against the mat and you're flailing your hands in the air,
Mm-hmm.
that's not what you would do.
You're
If
right.
somebody grabbed your neck, you're trying to take their hand off your neck.
Right on.
Um, you can tell people that, and they will say, "Oh, for sure, for sure." Oh yeah, don't worry. But what happens is they ignore it. I used to tell my kid, "Don't put your glass on the edge of the table; it's gonna fall." You know, my kid would be, "Oh yeah, 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 no worries, dad, no worries, dad." What do you think happened?
Yeah, right.
Balls, boom. So the kids will be like, "Oh yeah, yeah." I'm not saying you have to go grab and choke every kid,
Mm-hmm.
but to show them really the why. And you know, if you ever have a wood stove,
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, you always touch that. Your parents say, "Don't touch that stove. Don't touch that stove. You're gonna get burnt." And the kid, you can see, and then and they start crying.
Uh-huh.
They need you need to learn that to a certain extent, and acting is important. It
Mm-hmm.
really is, right? An important piece of this business now. But if you don't know, if you never been, let's say if you've never been punched in the face, you might not know how to really sell a punch to the face. I'm not telling trainers to go punch their kids in the face, but I'm just saying if you've never been punched in the face, you're guessing on how you would react to it.
Yeah.
So to me, it's important. And if you're being a pro wrestler, you need to know how to be an amateur wrestler. Come on,
Okay.
come on.
Come on. Hey, man. Hey, the amount of knowledge we've got in the past 3 episodes, Stardom. We've had Phil Stamper, we've had Joe Dombrowski, and now we've got Rob Stardom. By
Ah,
gosh,
but nobody's gonna listen to this. They'll be
you've
like,
got knowledge. Knowledge is what we want. We want to know about wrestling. What kind of changes have we seen along the years? What's happened with wrestling since you've
oh,
started? What's going on out there?
oh, um, it's a dance. Everybody wants to dance, and then they get in, they come see me, and they think I'm just an old asshole because I don't want to talk to them.
Okay.
I, I'll see you out there. Let's go.
We
You
ain't going
know,
over shit, huh?
and nobody. But here's the problem:
Mm-hmm.
first match, they talk and they have their dance set, and let's say they're planning to do a spin and a dip,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't communicate with the second match, third match, fourth match, main event, you name it. They all fucking do the same spots.
Oh, okay.
You got to just watch the show as a veteran and a green guy. Just everybody watch the show and then react.
Yeah.
Like you got to like I I just want to watch the show and see. Oh man, the fans like peanut butter and jelly today.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I might try some peanut butter and jelly. Oh no, I can't because they guys use peanut butter and jelly. I gotta get bologna out. Okay, it's gonna be bologna for me. And then I start the match. I'm gonna do a little bit of bologna. They fucking hate it. Okay, I gotta pull some salami out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't plan. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna work this guy's pinky all match. And you start working a pinky, and the fans don't give two fucks.
Yeah.
You
What you
need
gonna
to
do?
switch. You gotta do something because your job's to entertain them
Yep.
in a realistic manner.
Okay. Yep.
So it's tricky, and you know I can't talk about the like WWE and that, but I have friends and just the scripting of everything, like
Yeah.
literally like all the promos, like everything's scripted. I feel there's no real emotion, and the fans know, like there's no kayfabe. They know, and here's me doing a big expose interview, I guess you could say. But they know it's not real, so it's you don't get that same reaction.
Right.
I want to say one thing that's maybe I'm saying maybe because I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a positive change in this new environment, 2023, 20 like in the 2020s,
Mm-hmm.
where pro wrestling's pretty much gotten rid of, let's say, racial, sexual discriminate, like that
Yeah.
sort of like those gimmicks, right? You know what I mean? Those gimmicks, like.
Yep.
But I asked myself this, so I don't know if it's right or not. I mean, we want to make sure that if you go to a movie, right?
Yeah.
There's heels, there's baby faces, right? And maybe there's a movie where and most movies have like it's a big evil, right? Like maybe I'm not saying this, so don't take this out of context, but
Mm.
maybe it's like American History X. Have you seen that movie?
Right on. Yep. Very
Man, that's
racially
like
charged.
yeah, and that movie I can remember.
Hmm.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I still get chills when they do that curb stomp, and then I feel so horrible when the kid he plans to reform in that, and then he gets killed. Like it's like wow,
Yeah.
and I mean, there's those guys are heels. Like there's heels,
Right.
um, but it's tricky, right? So, um, I was on a show the other day where there was a guy wearing a hood as like an executioner.
Hmm.
His gimmick says executioner, but he's the German executioner. He speaks
Uh
German, I guess. And I said, I think that's a little outdated. Like nobody's mad at the Germans anymore, right?
oh. No, I'm not.
Right? I said, if that was the Russian executioner, there'd be a lot of heat on that guy.
Right.
And the guy I'm talking to, who's been around for a while, he goes, oh, but that might get some pushback. In the old days, and I'm talking the old days like I was there, which I was. My trainers were telling me like they wanted a riot.
Right.
They wanted people to come to see the good old boy beat the evil Russian.
Hmm.
They wanted that, right? So the problem is that we all work for small companies, and bookers are not thinking like they're running a company, right? They need to do. They need to be able to do it tastefully.
Right.
I mean, I seen some wild things this past week in the states with some of the storyline booking.
Hmm.
Going, man, kids come in for free on the show. Like it says, kids free on the show,
Uh-huh.
and there's like, wow, there's a lot of sexual gimmicks going on here.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? But it's not up to me to judge, right? Who am I?
Right.
It's your company. You do what you want, right?
I got
Hopefully,
you.
hopefully, it's going to draw you money.
Uh-huh.
I some crazy things, sure, but I feel that real heat isn't there,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to get that. As in, I don't think anybody does. People will be like, oh yeah, let's make the Russian executioner or the KKK guy or whatever. It's a different time. That's I don't. I think there's a certain group of people that might like that. I think you're kind of seeing that in XPW. To be
Yeah.
honest with
But
you,
it
they're
kind of
trying to
turned
do
me
that.
off in XPW. It was like they were doing it for the sake of doing it, you know?
I so I have a regret in my wrestling career. Before my wrestling career,
Hmm.
in the PWIs was you want to be a pro wrestler, and it was come to Slammer's gym.
Okay. I remember it.
Yeah, and that evolved into like all those guys in XPW.
Right. Yep.
And I'm like, I graduated high school, and I'm like, well, do I go to don't laugh? Do I go to business school or do I go here? And I went to business school, and I could have been, and then I had like every XPW DVD
Yeah.
as a
Same.
young wrestler. I'm like, these are awesome
Yeah.
because hey, let's face it, young guys, we like in those days maybe porn was tougher to get. You like the porn stars in it, you like the wrestling, you like the hardcore, the blood. You all of a sudden like this is cool.
Yeah.
This is cool, right? But I was rooting for them, but I think they have really put themselves in a niche market.
Yeah.
Here's me saying that maybe Rob Black's making boatloads of money, and he's if he heard this, he'd be like, "This dumb Canadian doesn't know what he's talking about." Maybe he's right. I don't know, but I feel that they had a big market. They were selling their DVDs nationally.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that would happen now,
Right.
and it's because maybe they are trying to get real heat. I don't know. I don't know if anybody can figure out how to get real heat because everybody, myself included, everybody gets offended.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, and everybody's in on it anymore too.
Yeah,
Like they're booing to boo the bad guy. I see people booing Jeff Paul and they're smiling because they love him because
yeah.
they know he's a good dude. You know, like I don't
The
know.
crazy thing is though, if let's say there's a hot movie, like a real good movie with a real heat storyline,
Mm-hmm.
people would watch it and be like, "Wow, that was so good. That was an emotional roller coaster ride." And hopefully the baby face goes over. Most movies, 99.9% baby face goes over.
Right.
But we're scared to do that in wrestling now. We really are.
Really. That's a good point. Yeah, because it is
You,
weird. It's a weird culture right now. My kids are very weird. Like I have to watch what I say around my kids. I was
you
raised
know,
in the '90s.
yeah, so don't judge me because I'm a very open minded guy.
Uh huh.
And my kid teaches me every day.
Same.
Now, I'm 45 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this, and you'll probably laugh, but when we'd say something sucked, we'd be like, "Oh, that's gay."
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Yep.
Now, I said that maybe like 6 months ago, and my kid's like, "Why? Like, why are you saying that?"
Mm-hmm.
Like you and I have lots of friends in the gay community. I've been to Pride. I go to Pride Parade. Hey,
Right.
I'm good. Hey, yeehaw, right? That's good. But I said, well, no, I don't mean it like that. So my kid says, well, how do you mean it? I said, well, I mean it sucks. So my kid says, why don't you just say it sucks? It opens my mind, right?
Uh huh.
You got to keep learning, keep evolving. I know we're maybe talking about bigger issues than you want to get into, but you got to keep evolving. And I can turn that back to wrestling where I'm trying to evolve as
Mm-hmm.
a wrestler, performer, content creator. And pro wrestlers are content creators. We got to go in that ring and create content for the promoter, for the promotion, for the fans.
Hell yeah.
So
Yep.
trying to do it at different levels, right?
Yeah.
So
And
we haven't solved anything in the wrestling business, just to be clear. So please don't clip those. If anybody clips all this, Rob says you need Ku Klux Klan in wrestling. No, I did not.
we could
Please.
definitely take some sound bites and just destroy you, just end your career.
Yeah, please,
But no,
please.
it's necessary information. It's something somebody needs to say. So I appreciate you saying it, and I
Yeah,
and I think you have a respected opinion. I think you've
yeah,
earned a good amount of respect.
yeah. But my opinion is I don't have the answer. I don't think anybody does. I mean, if somebody can, they'll be a rich man or rich person.
Now's the time to do it. We're booming. Do you see the boom? Is there more fans coming to shows?
I would say there was.
Okay.
I feel that summer in Canada is tricky.
Yeah.
We are cooped up. I'm gonna squeeze you with some heat right away, but
Hell yeah. Let's
we're
go.
cooped up all winter, and our winter's like I don't know 7 8 months.
Mm,
So summer is a tough time for us, but I've seen it back and forth. What's killing us right now is it's not killing it. Maybe not the company I'm working for, but I see a company that they did good business in a small market.
mm-hmm.
So once you do good business, you think I'm going to go fish there every month,
Okay.
and I'm going to catch a big fish every month, and that's not how it works.
No.
You got to fish there once every 6 months,
Okay.
right? So all of a sudden, they go from catching a big fish that first time. Now they're doing monthly to like minnows.
Yeah.
It's such a small market. Maybe in the winter you might have we might have a different debate because in the winter again people want to do things.
Okay.
So now here's the heat for you.
Okay.
So all of the bridges in the U.S.,
Uh
no
huh.
matter where, no matter how hot, says watch for ice.
Mm.
What's going on? I talked to the guys in Memphis where it's plus it was like with humidity plus 46
Well,
and there's signs saying watch for ice on the bridges. I'm like, who are you guys trying to work here?
we're not going to take the signs down in the summertime. We're going to leave them up, Rob.
I'll tell you. So in Memphis specifically, how much snow are they getting ever?
I bet you they get. I know we get some snow here. I've never
How
been to
much?
Memphis.
How long do you have snow?
Huh?
How
Hell if I
long?
know.
Come on.
I had.
I'm like,
I don't know.
we don't
We're gonna have
have
to
we
look
don't have
into
those
it. Do you know
signs.
what Memphis weather? I don't know.
We don't have those signs in Canada.
Well, you guys are used to it. You're tough up there.
I'm like, what's going on here, man? Crazy.
Uh, what other kind of changes? What differences did you notice in the U.S. as opposed to Canada?
Um, I think this is a positive thing where um, I saw a lot of trans workers.
Mm,
Like Ohio, there was two. I think it's a great dynamic. I mean, Mexico has had exoticos and stuff like
yeah.
that forever. I mean, I think it's great. I, I think having a diverse crew will help grow the audience
Yep.
and also allow for diverse storylines. But then back to the what can we and can't we do for a storyline,
Yeah.
uh, which makes it tricky, right? Again, nowhere I'm just saying do something crazy, but and I think the real problem with indie wrestling, and I'm an indie wrestler, is we believe so strongly that all the fans care about our storylines and know what our storylines are. When we don't have a TV show,
Right.
we don't even like. Come on, nobody knows. Like the amount of people. Let's say you're a great indie and you're drawing 500 fans.
Right.
500 fans uh, once a month,
Hmm.
and you do all these little things on the internet, these little promos and stuff.
Right.
Most of those fans don't know anything about it.
You don't think?
I know.
Nah. Okay.
I
I'm
know.
genuinely curious how
I'll
many
tell you,
like we think
I'll
are
bet you
following them.
15% of that 500 would know.
Okay.
You might say that's a lot, but not when you look at the big picture.
Right on.
You know,
It.
you start dissecting who that crowd really is.
Uh,
Oh, this wrestler's mom, aunt. Oh, the local butcher down the street that did a sponsorship package.
yeah.
20 of his customers, they don't know. And
Yeah.
we get, and I'm not saying we shouldn't do storylines. I feel that I think indie wrestling companies need to do a better job of making their online content look more professional.
Yeah.
The amount of companies that'll ask you to do a promo for them before the show on your own time, and they're like, just do it with your cell phone. And I'll see guys like sitting in a car doing a promo,
That's the indie promo, baby.
and I'm asking myself like, when I was a kid, the first wrestling I saw was AWA wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Jerry Crusher Blackwell. He's building a casket,
Uh huh.
right? Like I mean, he's hitting a nail with his head. There's like Mad Dog, like just these guys doing the Bruce or the Crusher with beer. Like these guys are doing promos and like a reaction. They're not just the phone's the wrong way, so it doesn't look right on any screen you watch it.
Thank you.
Right in their car, it just doesn't look right, and I I don't know. I think that detracts from it. I'm a wrestling fan,
Mm-hmm.
and if I knew nothing about, if I just knew WWE and AEW, which most wrestling fans, that's what they know. They don't even
Yep.
know about Impact or MLW or whoever. And you're like, hey, you got to come check out this indie show. Hey, look, here's Rob. He's got this promo. Check it out. And you're like, why is this guy sitting in his car?
Good point. Yep.
The car's got nothing. It'd be different if I'm talking about my car, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm like, it'd be like, look at it's got nothing to do with your car at all. It does not make sense. And at least produce it right. Put the phone the right way. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, let's say we've made it past that and we're intrigued to watch their weekly television show on YouTube. And here
Yeah.
comes the commentary. How important is that commentary and how bad is commentary on most indie matches?
Mm. It's I so commentary is super important.
Yeah.
I'm gonna breaking news, and I lied to the world. I guess yesterday I was half asleep. I said I'm gonna. You have to watch the end of the vlog. I said, but if you watch, you're not going to get the info because I didn't tell you. Sorry, but people watch my vlog. You're probably not going to watch this, so it's all good. I have a show, a non-charity show
Mm-hmm.
from a place that I was running a charity show. They wanted me to do a show,
Mm-hmm.
so I have a show, and I booked two commentators.
Okay.
It's one of the first things I booked, and hopefully, like I'm trying to focus on that kind of stuff because I want to do more content.
Right.
Commentary is important, but the other part. Have you ever been an indie commentary? A commentator?
I'm scared to. I've had the opportunity, and I'm scared to do it.
What kind of direction are you given?
Uh, I, I've never done it, so I can't say I was given direction. I was
But
too
let's
scared to
say
do it.
let's
It's too
say
much pressure.
let's say you're you're watching this. Like, what kind of direction are those guys given? None.
Yeah.
They probably know the same as the wrestler about the match,
hmm
maybe,
Yep.
right? But they don't know. Like, they can't say, "Oh, Rob Stardom in 2002 was the NWA Canadian Heavyweight Champion. You know, he's wrestled these guys, or he's been here, here, here." Like, these guys know nothing. They're
Yeah.
just thrown out there blind, not told. Like, they got to be given the proper tools. This is bios on the guys.
Right.
You know, this is and half the time it's who's a warm body to do this. But
hmm
if you do have any storylines, you got to be like, last week Spooky Lou spit in Rob's beer and Rob drank and he found out, so he's hot.
Okay.
That's what's going on, right? But these guys, they don't know, so they're just calling, "Oh, these two guys are gonna wrestle, and oh, they lock up, they take the arm, oh,
hmm
rake the eyes, blah 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 blah." Which, I mean, at least it's better than no commentary.
Right.
Let's put it that way. But you need it all. Like, all of us indie wrestlers, me included. I just told you my vlog, my editing is the shits. We need to up our production values.
Yeah.
You know, um, I'm gonna tell you. So, speaking of production values, how many shows? So here's me counting on my fingers here.
That's tough.
Four, four, no, five of the shows I've done on this tour are weekly shows. I think five. So the first one was XVW.
Uh huh.
They run every Tuesday,
Uh huh.
right? So their production value was actually very interesting. I think it was good.
Yeah.
They had they have fireworks when you come out. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
They got pyro, man, in that little
Pyro,
place,
right? They got pyro. Um, so that was good,
and
right?
they
They
got
have a
weekly
nice.
TV on Dayton TV.
Oh, did you get it?
I watch it. I can send you a link where you can watch it if you want to. I found
Oh,
their
please.
website.
Or you just screen capture my match. That'll make me happy. But
Okay.
um,
I got you.
I appreciate that. But so they have some production value, right? Like,
Right.
I think they have a little bit of production value. Um, I talked to my kid about this because I asked my kid, what do you think about these shows and different opinions? And I like a lot of things from each show. And then I thought, well, each show has everybody's got opportunities, right? You might say, "Rob, you just told me you're 20 pounds overweight." I'll say, "Yeah, you're right. That's my opportunity."
hmm
And I'm going bald. Um, so then that's a weekly show, and I thought that was pretty cool. So then, Pro Wrestling Mid South, they have 3 weekly shows,
Oh,
right?
okay. Huh.
3. They do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I didn't do the Friday, but I did the Thursday. That's only short-term weekly show for them, I think, for like 2 months.
Huh.
Um, and they just have the ring set up and just it's almost like a spot show, to be honest with you.
Huh.
But then their Saturday show, which I did, it's a it's an awesome arena.
hmm
You walk in and there's like a wall of fame with big posters of all the like these top guys that have worked for the company.
Oh,
Like,
neat.
really, really cool. He's got a sound system where he's got a pretty solid setup there, right? And so that's a weekly show, and just a production where you go in there and you go, "Wow, that's cool." Um, Boogie's Boogie's weekly show. I mean, I've been to a lot. That was a crazy time, I'll tell you. I don't know what to expect, but wow,
Uh huh.
you're changing in a dressing room that's doors open
Okay.
with all these pictures everywhere,
Yeah, all over
and
the
the,
walls.
and the fans can come in right
hmm
into the dressing room. And I look
Okay.
around, guys are training before the show,
In front of the
but
fans. Yeah.
in front of the fans.
Yeah,
I'm
man, that
like,
happens.
but
Uh huh.
that's his way of doing it. And
Yeah.
it is what it is, right? He does a weekly show. Good for him. Like,
hmm
everybody has their own thing, I guess is what I'm kind of getting at, right?
Uh
Where,
huh.
but we need as a whole, indie wrestling better production value.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
Yeah, even, yeah, so somebody might look at me, a fat old man going bald, think, "Man, this guy must be the shits." and they'll look at this brand new jacked up guy that can't change a wrist lock from a wish. You get the deal, right?
Yeah.
And you go, man, that guy's a Cadillac. He must be a stud. He's gonna be good.
Uh-huh.
The bell rings and he's the shits.
Uh-huh.
But at first, imagine if I had that look. Shame
Catches
on
the
me.
eye. You're intrigued.
Shame on me for not doing that. So it's the same with indie companies.
Yeah.
Imagine when that fan walks in and they're like, wow, this looks like pro wrestling.
Okay.
You know, a company's got to do that. They got to figure that out, right? And everybody's definition of pro wrestling is different, I believe. So it's tricky.
Yeah.
But if it's just a ring in the middle of nowhere with a couple chairs, it's no good. And that's what a lot of indie wrestling is. It really is.
Yeah.
So
You're making the rounds more than I am. You're seeing more of them than I am. So, by God, you're the authority on the matter, Rob Stardom.
no.
Japan, though, you was going in studio wrestling. What are they doing in Japan? My God.
Well, I try to, so I love pro wrestling. So I try to be able to do every kind of match you need, right? Whatever you need, boss, just pay me, I'll do it. So I had an aggressive schedule when I was in Japan, and it's crazy though because I had an available. I think it was like a Thursday morning or Saturday, whatever day it was, maybe Saturday.
Mm.
And Choco Pro had a show. I think this is kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really watch Choco Pro.
But
to
it's
be honest,
huge. It's over.
Yeah,
Man.
so I didn't watch Choco Pro.
You didn't even know it was big, huh?
I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
Right? But I say I didn't know what it was, but I know what everything is. Like, let's be honest here. I know, but I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
So I asked my friend Fujita, I said, hey, I'm looking for bookings, and I search under every rock for bookings if I'm in that area to keep busy. So he says, no problem. He gets me booked, and I don't know what to expect. So I kind of watch a few videos, and I see, okay, I see no ring, right? But I just focus on no ring.
Right.
Okay, there's no ring. I did one other no ring in Japan. I said, okay, I can do that, no problem. No ring, no ring, no problem.
Uh-huh.
But then I get there, and I don't speak. I can maybe kanpai and a little bit of Japanese, but not really.
No, yeah.
Some beers. Give me some beers, and that kind of count to 10. But they're kind of trying to explain to me, what's going to happen, and I need to go and do a promo and this kind of stuff. Which okay, I kind of figure that out. You go to the camera, you do a promo, blah blah blah. But then the end of the show, and everybody is singing and dancing.
Okay.
And I'm literally like, they're giving me the Iggy to sing and dance, and I'm like joining in. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I didn't know this is happening. But it's super cool. Like, a lot of those, like, they're hell of workers, and they're working with no ring. And I'll tell you, the payoff I got from there was really, really good. So,
hell yeah.
It was real good, and good workers, good people. And it just adds another tool in my toolbox, Yeah. A lot of people can say, "Oh yeah, I wrestled this no ring in a death match, blah blah blah." I wrestled 2 no ring matches. I've done death matches, but blah blah blah. Like, you got to be able to add all these tools into your chest, just so you can be the total worker, not the total package Lex Luger, but the total worker.
Right.
Anytime a promoter might need you, and I might maybe 10 years ago, I might have been like, oh, these marks wrestling with no ring, blah, blah, blah. But I think change is good, and it helps round you out, right?
Right.
And those fans are passionate. The I don't know if you know how it works. So they have a paid audience.
Okay.
And those fans pay a lot of money to go to those shows.
Really?
I'm just going to say that. They pay a lot of money to go to those shows. And then after the show, they sell Polaroids. And so you might go, oh, everybody does that. I had to leave because I literally had another show.
Uh-huh.
They brought me my Polaroid money
on
the Sunday. and
Okay.
I was shocked at how much
Really?
it was. And then I didn't understand this because I understand a lot of things after I figured out, but they keep pushing like no paywall is what they would say.
Okay.
Choco Pro, no paywall. I'm like, what the hell is this? What are they talking about? No paywall? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's because they put all their content for free on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But then they have tiers of support that you can give them. I think through like a Patreon, but maybe it's not Patreon. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
So literally every show they're reading out all of these sponsors, and so I started looking at it, and man, some of those sponsorships is expensive,
Uh,
and these fans are supporting them, right? Like, holy
wow.
shit, right? So every show, one of the Choco Pro people agreed, this is from Jimmy, from Sam, blah, 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 blah. And I'm watching all this going, I don't know what the fuck is going on, right? But I figured it out, and I think it's an interesting business model. And again, I think it's important to work in a diverse, uh, different companies, working environments, so that you can figure out nobody's ever going to be perfect unless you're Kurt Hennig, but besides him, so to try to be the perfect company, the perfect wrestler as best you can, right? So stealing ideas from all of those, right,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I got to buy me a coffee, uh,
Yeah.
in,
Okay.
in the in the long run, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know why I didn't sign up for Patreon. I should. You got to tell me, Snoopy. Should I sign up for Patreon?
I'd do it, man. Make some exclusive content. This is my strategy for me. I want to build an audience. I don't no paywall yet. Once I get an audience that's reacting and interacting and liking, then the paywall comes up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do the YouTube membership deal. So I think you have the audience. I think you have the right to put up that paywall where they get exclusive interviews, matches, whatever it may be.
You know, so I thought a lot about it, and
Hmm.
um, I don't know what I would give exclusive content of, because I try to like, I don't know, like I try to just say, just be me out there.
Right.
I I if you I don't know how closely you pay attention to some of the things I do in the vlog, but the last vlog in Japan,
Hmm.
I was crying.
Okay.
Like I'm sitting. I remember this. I
Hmm.
may have been 44 at the time, but I told myself this is the last hit. This is it.
Hmm.
And so I finished the match and blah 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 and all the guys, and that was a strong hitting match too, boy. I'll tell you, I
Yeah.
almost got knocked out. It was good. It was good. It was awesome. And Kenjiro-san gives me my envelope pay, and he runs the show, and show day's swamped. Right, he's dealing with ring spawn, like everything, right?
Hmm.
And he's telling me, he's like in broken English, Rob-san, thank you. Um, I can't. He's like, I can't come out tonight.
Hmm.
I can't come out to drink and just to hang out. He's a good friend of mine, right? He gave me my start in Japan, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'm like, he gave me the envelope, and there's a lineup of guys behind me, and I know how busy he is. And I shake his hand, I give the bow, blah blah blah, and then I'm like, welling up, thinking, not that I'm not coming back to Japan. I'm probably gonna go back to Japan, just for the record. There's been enough feelers for me, but I'm like, I'm probably never gonna see this guy again.
Yeah.
That that gave me a chance to come to Japan when there's guys a million times better than me,
Right.
and it really choked me up that I wasn't gonna get that last like I'm not expecting Kenjiro to come to the plane to wave goodbye to me and give a big hug and kiss or something like that, but I was really looking forward to that, right?
Right.
And so I go into there's a kayfabe bathroom right there, and I'm in there, and I'm like, I'm choking up a bit, but I'm trying. I hope you see this. I'm actually a tough guy, right?
Right.
So it's tough, right? And I was just in a strong style fight. I have a black eye all tour from like I'm. They know
Mhm.
tough guy and heavy. Drink good. Rub Stardom son, drink good, tough guy. It's tough, right? So I'm trying to kayfabe. So I just gotta get out. I get out of the venue. So my good friend Kenji, really good. he runs a company. They're two really good friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and he was giving me a ride to the hotel, but I don't know where the fuck he is, and I'm like, my head's not right there, so I'm like sitting outside the venue. Young boys are doing the ring, but I'm far enough. I try to give them that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting this is some exclusive shit, man.
I appreciate you, baby. Thank
Man,
you.
and hold on, I gotta say, I turn down every interview
I
because
know you do. I've heard.
I feel like I got nothing to like, not much to give, and I'm not gonna give you lots of views and whatever. But so I'm kayfabing, right? And and I'm filming a little bit, but I don't want to film too much. Like I don't want people to see.
Right.
But I do still want like I'm not saying I have a regimen. I got to do this, but I take the vlog kind of serious too, right? So I'm like I gotta be like blah blah blah,
Right.
and and then finally Kenji shows up,
Mm-hmm.
and I fucking I'm tough. I'm having a hard time,
Mm-hmm.
and so we figured out, and we're gonna go meet his girlfriend, who's a hell of a worker too, um, and he's like, okay, we gotta go there to get her. I said, okay, no problem, no problem. And I'm in the car, and I'm crying and kayfabe sell like no selling it, like
Yeah.
the tears are. I'm no selling. And he's like, and I have a spawn. Oh, this is kind of funny. I'm going to talk about some American guys in a second. So I got
Okay.
a sponsor party
Uh-huh.
set up, and I invited. Who was on the show? Viva Las Vegas, I think, or
Yeah.
Viva Amish. I get them booked at the sponsor party with me. The sponsor's my sponsor. I
Okay.
get them booked there. I didn't know that the sponsor's not getting them fuck all until I walk into that door, just for the record. So
Okay.
they're sitting there selling with the sponsor, waiting for me. I go with Kenji, and I'm like, I'm, we go pick up his girlfriend, and they're like, Rob, son, you need to come to our house, see their mother,
Mm-hmm.
and their mother had made me. And I had I don't know if you watched my vlog. Sponsors are treating me, and I think it's
Yeah. I
ridiculous. Like
saw. Yeah.
all this crazy, like spending hundreds of dollars on
Yeah.
me, and I'm a nobody. And so, like, literally made me like a home cooked meal, and just to meet their mom, and it was like so like I love Kenny, he's a great guy, right, and a good friend, and it just brought me back up, going, hey, these are great people, like there's like it just really made me feel better.
Yeah.
And the fact that they took that time and really did care, and this business, I was kind of saying what some guys need to do to get booked and to maybe make it and stuff, but this is a business of relationships.
Yes.
This is a fat bald asshole like me can get booked from relationships. Imagine what some of these, like Bobby Shink's fucking, like, he's not 7 feet tall. We'll call him 7 feet tall, handsome young man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's going bald though, Bobby Shink. If you're watching
Oh.
this, you are too, brother.
Uh-oh.
But it's all about relationships, right?
Yep.
And it's super super important. But so we finally get to the sponsor
Mm-hmm.
after eating this home cooked meal and going through this emotional roller coaster. And Viva La Amish, I think, were hot at me because they were sitting, and although they got a free meal and as much booze as they can drink, I'll tell you, so those guys shouldn't have been hot at me. Just
Right.
sit there and sell for an hour or two. Um, but yeah, I love pro wrestling, and the amount of people that I've met that truly, like, I I never want to think that it'll be the last time to meet them, to see them.
Yeah.
That's the tough part, right? That's a tough part. Uh, I don't know if you know beautiful Bobby J. I don't know if you know him, but he's the best man at my wedding. He used to run Top Rope Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He's, in my eyes, he trained me, even though he didn't train me. He trained me through drinking beer and driving the road.
Right
Um,
on.
and he's retired. And he originally was supposed to he wanted to have his retirement match against me, but he's a huge baby face, and I'm a baby face, so it didn't work out.
Right.
And I can remember seeing him in the dressing room and like telling him, and he was, I'm telling Bobby, I love you, man, and I mean it. Like the
Yeah.
amount of relationships and love in this business, and super cool. Like I've had the opportunity to take my kid with me to Japan, and also on this tour here. My kid's with me on this tour, and I'm asking my kid for feedback
Mm-hmm.
on the wrestling shows, the setups, what they're seeing. And the biggest thing my kid is seeing is that the relationships and the family aspect of pro wrestling,
Good. Good.
which I think is super cool.
Very.
So, it shows that we're not just a bunch of, like, we're not going to punch them in the face so they know how it feels or choke them. That's the old way, but there supposed to be a happy medium. You might need to like do something, but I know I'm kind of rambling there, but I don't
No,
know.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think it should be discussed more, man. Like I'm only a year in, and the people I know, I've made best friends for life. Like me and Marcus Twist are tighter. I talk to that dude an hour a day, every day on the phone. And I haven't known him for a year. He bought me a
Wow.
new camera, bought me a new mic when I needed it for the
Oh,
show.
nice.
So
You know,
I totally get it.
when it comes to relationships, like again, this is even though I don't see your face in this video for
Yeah,
whatever reason, that's a big kayfabe. But hey, it is what it is.
I'm spooky,
Um,
baby.
I don't know you from a hole in the ground besides the internet.
Right.
And the fact that you made that your video pumping my vlog, I'm like, holy fuck. And I popped and I'm showing everybody this. And then I know this is a fact. And you could say, Rob, no, no, no. After you and me a little bit, all of a sudden you have like all these Winnipeg guys on your Facebook and all this
Yeah.
stuff, starting interviewing, right? But I think the world of you because you owe me nothing and you did that for me
Yep.
and just out of the blue I'm like wow that's cool. I mean I'd like if maybe you bought me a beer and a bologna.
If I
but
had money, I would, Rob.
yeah but
And at the same time, you don't know me, and here I get the interview of all people.
yeah oh well but
And don't think
I,
I don't take that for don't I don't take anything for granted. It's
yeah
crazy all the veterans that have taken a chance on me in a year. I made a post on Facebook this week.
mm-hmm.
Again, you don't owe me anything. I made a
Yeah,
video. You've been in the business for years. I made one video out of all those
25
years. So what? So it's and like you said, hey, you're my buddy. Until you
yeah,
don't want me anymore, you got a friend for
yeah
life, man.
yeah for sure. Is
I
there anything
kept
you
you
want
over
to
for
ask
over
me?
an
I know
hour, huh?
I know I've been ranting about random things where people would be like this interview sucks, this guy's just talking about bullshit, but
Hell no.
dude, Um, so Desiree Peterson again, the top tier female Canadian wrestler. We were talking today, and we're talking about some of the things that I've done, and like for me, a highlight would be having Sherry Martel manage me and my partner in her last match ever. It's
Wow.
horrible. It's horrible that she passed away. But
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something super cool.
Mhm.
So I've worked on many shows with names, and I've worked with a lot of names.
Mhm.
Sherry Martel comes up to me and Zach Mercury, and I can speak for myself, but I'm sure Zach would have said the same thing. In the '80s, there's that WWF magazine where Sherry's on the cover. Man, I had such a crush on Sherry.
Oh yeah, beautiful woman.
And she comes to us and says, "Can I get a picture with you guys?"
Oh shit.
I mean, wow, what
Mhm.
a class act, right? Getting able to work someone like Davey Boy Smith, like, oh, come on, man, like, oh man, crazy things that you as a kid, like it would be like if, like, so I'm not really into comic books. That's my brother's thing, but my brother loves Spider Man.
Mhm.
Be like my brother said, "Hey, I got to like fight crime with Spider Man. I got to wrestle the British fucking bulldog."
Right on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I grew up watching Stampede Wrestling, like all this crazy stuff, right? So we get to live our dream, and a lot of times these crazy things you would never think are possible. At Boogie's today, one of the guys was talking. He said something about there was a guitar in there. He's like, "Oh, I don't know if Honky Tonk hit anybody." I'm like, "Man, Honky Tonk Man's hit me over the head twice with a guitar."
Hell yeah.
That's like a big pop, right?
Mhm.
And then something else. And I'm like, "Yeah, Bruce Beefcake's cut my hair." Like things like this, you would never think would happen to people, right?
Yeah.
Like you watch this as a kid, and now we're get to do this stuff. Like it's truly unbelievable. And I don't want to be one of those like hashtag blessed and all that kind of people, but
I
hey,
will.
man, it's truly unbelievable for like the amount of things that I've got to do in this business. I feel like I have no right in doing these things, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Right? I'm a lucky guy. I'm not going to say no. You got $10 for me. I'm going to take it. Right? I'll say yes. That's mine. Give it to me.
My
Same thing.
theory's starting to become it happens to people that will appreciate it. Shit happens. I watched Johnny Swinger in ECW at
Yeah.
16 years old. Last month, I recorded a match of Johnny Swinger.
Yeah.
It's
For sure.
stuff like that, you know? It's crazy. Believe me. I've cried more in the last year, happy tears, than I've ever cried in my life because
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I mean, it's wild. It's wild, and it's happening fast, Rob. It's crazy. I got thrown into this shit full force. I tell you, it's been
How
fun.
did you get in the business there, kid?
Yeah. You want to hear a crazy story?
Yeah, for sure. I could tell you crazy with what I can't think.
WrestleRoni episode 1, Rob Stardom.
Yeah.
I went to an indie show in my hometown, and I was accused of being a spy for another promotion for another guy. And I got wind, and I
Of
was like,
course.
I'm gonna make a podcast. That's too much to type on Twitter, you know. Like I'm gonna say my piece. I'm not no spy. I took my kids to a wrestling show. The promoter hears it. Man, I'm sorry. Yada yada yada. Now I work for that promoter.
What would make them think that though?
They had a big falling out with this other person.
And
You
like,
know wrestling.
what kind of info are you gonna get if you're a spy and go to an indie show? Like, really, what are you
I
gonna get?
said the same thing, man. I said the same thing. But
Like,
it's crazy how shit happens. Then that promoter knows this guy, so I go to this show and meet this guy, and now I know this guy and this guy, and now I'm working for 5, 6 different companies.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't let you run down my boss too bad there.
But no, no, no. But I get it. Like, um, so you want to know the real change in wrestling? You were asking me
Yes.
this earlier. Now I'm thinking about this.
Uh-huh.
So early 2000s, like early 2000s, I wrestled for a group, Top Rope Championship Wrestling.
Mhm.
Mostly young guys. Mostly young guys. I said I was making a living there. I was making a living. I was wrestling 4 to 5 times a week as
Oh
a
wow.
young guy, and making a living. There was another group which I later worked for, the Canadian Wrestling Federation, NWA Canadian Wrestling Federation,
Mhm.
and most of these guys were older guys, and there was legit heat, like legit, like this is a bike, like two gangs where ripping posters down, showing up,
Oh
threats, like it was like that doesn't happen now. That
no.
doesn't happen now. Most that stuff doesn't happen. I haven't seen a fight in a locker room probably in like I don't know 10, 15 years.
Really?
Yeah, and I would say yeah, maybe 15 years. I'd say
What about in the ring though?
nah, no,
No. Good. Okay.
no. Like I can remember, so more change. Like I can remember being a young boy and my I don't want to say who, but I was told to like beat the shit out of a guy, right?
Mhm.
So like those sorts of things would happen. Maybe a couple times where I've given they gave me the icky to do that kind of stuff, but so that doesn't happen now. Or once in a while they'll be like, "Hey, Rob, teach this kid a lesson." And
Yeah.
that's, I don't know
Can't go
why.
back there and told him I teach you a lesson.
Yeah, if I was gonna, what I'd do to teach him a lesson is I'd probably put him in the corner. I'd give him a couple chops and then
Uh-huh.
say, again, make him count though, make him count, maybe a forearm,
Uh-huh.
and then let him turn me around and probably hit me with 10 shitty chops.
Oh well, there you go. There you
Then give him
go.
his shots back, right? I wrestled some kid, what's his name? Mustachio.
Okay.
And it's crazy. The match, the guy wasn't even trained. It was for primos. That's maybe one of the reasons why I don't really like wrestling for primos. I wrestle a lot of their guys that weren't trained there. Like they have guys that are definitely trained there. I wrestle a lot of not trained guys,
Okay.
and I let that guy chop the shit out of me,
Mhm.
but I chopped the shit out of him
Mhm.
back. Like, and that guy is red all over. And that video has like 2,000 views.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of sick people out there, I guess, that want to see that.
Yes. Hey, I'm learning that from posting women's wrestling. Like they.
Oh, I
Oh,
want to tell you some regrets.
please.
Regrets. So Tessa Blanchard's on a show,
Mhm.
and I got the video camera out, and it's her match, and I start videoing it.
Okay.
And then I just stop. And I say to myself, I know, and I know, I could post this woman's match. I can get a lot of views, like a lot of views.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, a lot of views. She hadn't been working. She hadn't been working anywhere.
Yeah.
That would have got a lot of views. The vlog did well too. But I said, that's not what I'm doing. Like, my YouTube channel doesn't even have my matches on it. Well, it did in the beginning, but it's evolved just to vlogs.
Right.
But it doesn't have anybody else's matches. So why would I post that match?
Really? Man, props to you.
And I didn't do it.
Wow.
I should have maybe.
Yeah, I'm
No.
telling, like, bless your heart, I would have in a heartbeat.
But you post matches.
Well, okay, fair enough, but
Like
still.
that's your thing, right? Like if my thing was all matches
Right.
of other people, not me, that's fair game. But that's not what I do. So,
Rob, we was thinking about your Patreon. That's your Patreon.
but well, no, I know I thought about it too. But I'm like, who the fuck is gonna? Most of these people post video on like Facebook Live anyway. That like the fans film everything already.
Right
So
on.
so I mean, like, let's be honest, right? Like, I
Yeah.
thought about doing the skits that like there's some skits I've cut out that maybe I'll get back to. Some I plan to cut out again. Although you're gonna see if you watch there's potentially a 6.5 star bathroom coming up.
Oh
Like
man, I
six and
meant
a
to.
half stars.
I thought of you yesterday. I left my camera outside of the bathroom so people wouldn't think I was a weirdo. I was at a Krishna temple in West Virginia, in the mountains of
Yeah,
West Virginia. And you
yeah.
talk about a bathroom, I wanted to show you so bad, but I didn't want to take the camera in there and flip
Oh,
people
take
out.
it in, man.
Yeah,
It's a
man.
it's a regular. There's people with Instagram accounts. It blew my mind. I'm thinking I'm doing something kind of funny, blah blah blah. There's people literally with Instagram accounts like on bathroom. Like,
Really?
yeah, search it up. I'm telling you, man. My
Me?
kids show me that. I'm like, come on, you're kidding me.
Wow. Well, me and you can
So,
get in that game and be
yeah,
all
I thought,
right.
and you got to ask me. You got to. I'm feeding you like this. I know how to work. I'm feeding you.
Okay.
You got to ask me about the star ratings for the
Yeah,
bathrooms.
what about those star ratings, Rob?
So I say I'm a positive guy, right? I have to be positive. I won't be like,
Yeah.
no matter what I see, I won't be like, this sucks.
Right.
Or what the fuck is this guy thinking?
Uh-huh.
The last thing I would want to do is go to a venue and say, "Oh, that's no
Right.
good," because you know what that does? That makes it so the promoter might get heat, which might
Yep.
equal me getting heat, or maybe the promoter will get. Maybe that venue will just say, "Fuck pro wrestling."
Yeah, fuck that guy. I get
Fuck
it.
pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. If anything, I think some of those venues watch that and go, wow, I can't believe this guy's giving me 5 stars.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Because
It's
some of those bathrooms, if it was a real rating, I don't know. They're all 5 stars, but
they're all five.
maybe there's a couple that might just not quite be there.
It's funny
Yeah.
how our mentality's so the same because whenever I do star ratings on the channel, everything's 87 skulls, 47 skulls. It's fuck a rating, man. What's my
Yeah.
opinion matter? And plus,
Yeah.
I'm like you. I'm not downing anybody, man. Like, do your
Yeah.
thing.
And it's, the amount of people that talk to me and go, hey, what's the rating on this bathroom? In Tennessee, one of the boys said to me, I'm gonna go use the 5 star bathroom.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy that people watch that stuff and they're like, they know what's coming, but I think it's just different, right?
Right.
And one guy came to me and he started singing Marty's treats are tasty.
Oh shit.
Like,
Marty's
it's just,
treats are tasty.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
there's crazy stuff, right? And I know it's all cheesy, but I'm a cheesy guy.
Same here. Hey, on our last vlog, we started, "Hey, Duda." We went to a show. Of course, it's the boys, but it's still fun to hear, "Hey, Duda," and it came from our stupid vlog. Something
There
stupid
you
like
go.
that, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever. Put it on a shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Rob, I've kept you for an hour and a half, and I know
Oh,
you got a vlog to do.
I do, but hold on. You gave me one thing I want to ask you.
Okay,
Um,
go. Hey, I'm not pressed for time.
what's going on? What's going on with your shirts? You said you had some for sale.
Oh man, yeah, they're up on T Public. So at T Public, you can just upload a design. Somebody
Yeah, yeah.
buys it, I get $2. So I'm not too
Hey, that's not too
concerned.
bad.
Yeah.
So I have a Shopify, and
Okay.
it's you know what? I find that when you go into a new, like, I'll tell you, if I went on Patreon, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get some people into Patreon.
Mhm.
If I went on Shopify, I got some sales, but then dead because I'm not adding new things, right?
Okay.
You need to add new things, right? So, but Shopify, I think I have to pay $1 or $1.25 a month. So unless I'm updating it with new stuff,
Right.
so I guess what I'm saying is that place you have to pay,
No, you
and
don't. Do you need
and
somebody to make you shirts? Because I know somebody.
no, I got it in Winnipeg. There's a
Okay,
guy.
good.
Um, I sell way more, but everybody says to me, Rob, why aren't you doing pro wrestling tees?
Yeah.
I don't. I feel that I'm not educated up like I should be on it. I let CWE sell my shirt forever. It was no
Well,
problem.
I
But
know a 17-year-old kid that just got a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees here in West Virginia. So
yeah,
if he can do it, I think Rob Stardom's definitely entitled to it.
I know. I think I could do it, but I don't know. I feel that maybe there's different companies besides pro wrestling tees that you could make more revenue from.
Right on. It's
I don't
definitely
know
not the
though.
route I'm going. I promise you that.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I want to look at. I want to be different too, right?
Right
But
on.
then that's also maybe shit, right? Like maybe people who want to buy wrestling shirts are going to look at pro wrestling tees. Maybe they won't, but I think if somebody wants my shirt, they're going to Google me. They're not going to go to Pro Wrestling Tees and search it. They're going to Google me. So I'm not saying Pro Wrestling Tees is out of the picture or Patreon or whatever.
Mm.
I just want to. I'm trying to find the right platforms for me, and so it's easy, and also more bang for my buck because I'm putting in the work,
For
right? So
sure. Leave it in the
and I
comments for Rob Stardom. Let him know what way to go. 'Cause we
oh
can,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
There's
where
gonna
can
be
we
no
sell
comments. They'll be like, that guy said that you need to punch a guy in the face and
it?
have like racial gimmicks. That's not what I said. If you go back, that's not what I said.
It's the way I
No.
edited it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, man. Um,
Nah, this isn't getting touched. I'm just gonna zoom in the frame and we're gonna be good to go. Hey
oh,
Rob, I did make a promise to somebody. We both have to say hello, Sheldon. Hello, Sheldon.
oh yeah, Sheldon, Sheldon. Although
Okay, tell
Sheldon,
me.
Sheldon's a bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, man. I'll say it right here,
I'll say
Sheldon.
it. Okay, you go and I'll go. Tell me about it.
I said to him, like, especially I'm trying to book this tour.
Okay.
I'm literally on the so if I'm on the internet, and I don't know how the internet works when you really think about it, but I guess it always shows that I'm available on Messenger.
Right on.
But that doesn't mean I'm available on Messenger.
Right
If you
on.
know what I mean. I'm too stupid. So you can say, Rob, it's your fault. You got to figure out how to fix that. So I'm like, if I'm on the internet, I'm busy doing stuff. I'm trying to figure out, should I use pro wrestling tees? Should I be using this? Should I be doing this? Oh, maybe I can get this, what? Like I don't
How's
just
the
go on the
log
internet
numbers
and look
doing?
at
You
you
know.
porn anymore. I'm like an old man, like doing research, try to drive my business, right? And literally, whenever I open up my iPad, it'd be like, boom. And I just said, like, you gotta slow down, man. Like I said, you're messaging me more than my wife.
Yeah, bro.
And
As soon as I get up in the morning, get on Facebook, I get it too. Bless
yeah,
his heart.
but I
Okay.
said, hey man, I like you. You're my friend.
Yeah.
But my wife needs to message me more than anybody.
Right
My
on.
kid.
He has
So
good intentions. You want me to tell you what he did to me, where I didn't talk to him for about a month?
well, hold on. I'll say he's gotten way better.
Okay.
So
He's
thank you,
improving.
Sheldon. But I also think that as a wrestling fan, my job as a wrestler is to offer customer service. But if it was my pro wrestling store, eventually, if you just keep walking around and keep giving you service and you're not doing anything, I'll be like, okay, I'm not giving this guy service anymore.
Right, I go, okay.
You know what I mean?
Good
Like
point. Good point.
yin and yang, right?
And
Okay, I
I
want to
gotta
hear it
say,
because
as far as service for me, Sheldon's watching my videos. He shares them. Same with you.
yeah,
He does.
yeah,
So
for
I
sure,
gotta
yeah,
give him his due there. He's doing a little bit. I'll tell you what Sheldon did to piss me off a few months ago. We had this big live panel hyping up our upcoming show, and I said we'll have a couple fans on it. We're putting Sheldon on there, by God.
Yeah.
Sheldon started acting like he was a wrestler, and he started burying our top guy.
What?
He had the name and everything, and he started going on him like he was going to bury him. He did bury him. That's like, Sheldon, that's our top dude going for the belt, man, and we got a fan on here telling him he's going to beat his ass. I wasn't happy about it.
That's your fault.
I know. All the boys, they said, that's your fucking fault putting a goof on here in the first place. So,
But best of intentions,
yeah.
Good guy, he's been through a couple things, I bring him to shows. I try to help all those guys out. Hey, come to the shows, get more people to the shows, and he supports it. He buys a shirt, a hat, whatever. And that's shame on me because I should have different varieties of shirts, which I got some coming. So I need to do more products and things like that, right? Because I think lots of people do want to support me, but they have the Rob Stardom hat, they have the Rob Stardom shirt, they have the Rob Stardom sticker. I have a new 8x10 though. You need to buy that.
Okay. We got Slam Buddies?
No, and you know what? My good friends Viva La Amish, I think that's their gimmick, and they contacted me, but I don't know, man. Like, I just think that profit margin might not be there.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because I grew up poor. I'm going to tell you straight. I grew up poor.
Yeah.
So I find it hard. I see the fan, and the fans. Like, let's be honest. They're probably half of your Facebook friends, and they're sitting in the crowd.
Yeah.
Who's got some. Who's got $5. Who's got $25.
Right.
I feel bad. Someone's kid, and I should. There was a time in my life where I might not think like this, but my 8x10 is not worth $10.
Right on.
I'm just telling you, it's not. I know it's how it is, right? You ever collect sports cards?
Yeah, comic books, sports cards, yeah.
Yeah, right. So you buy a pack of sports cards. You open them up. What kind of sport? What sport?
Yeah, well, wrestling. I mean, wrestling's got the cards.
No. Well, maybe when you were a kid.
I did basketball too.
Basketball. Okay, so you open up the cards, and you pull out a Michael Jordan, or a Muggsy Bogues. Right. So then you're going to sell them. How much are you going to sell the Jordan and the Muggsy? There's differences, right? Now, I'm not saying locally that my card is down, but if guys are selling like WWE autographed 8x10s for like $10, $15, mine isn't worth $10, and I understand that. And thinking also where I want to see the fans come to the show and it be affordable, family friendly.
Yeah.
For them to be able to, oh man, I got Rob Stardom's picture, I bought Spooky Lou's sticker, I got Jimmy's hat, whatever it is, right?
I want to take something back with them.
Yeah, and it's branding. Like, my shirt, you see at a lot of the Winnipeg shows.
Hell yeah.
My Rob Stardom shirt, a lot at the shows. And that's important. The guys have jacked the price up, and like inflation, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Costs are going up. I get it. $25 for and the guys that jacked the price up, they got a black and white. They got a white writing on a shirt. I'm not chopping this one out. They got white writing on a shirt. It's the cheapest thing you can get. Probably or black writing on a white shirt. Probably cost them $7.
Crappy material.
I was like, it's tough, man. I can go to Walmart and buy a shirt with some like a Chicago Bulls gimmick on it or whatever for $10.
Yeah.
And you're selling this. But then the other side is it's asking for support as well, right? Like, why do people buy gimmicks from people? It's for support.
Yeah.
I truly appreciate like any kind of support. Like I originally got a lot of heat, some heat from guys. Like, he asked me about heat, and they're like, Rob, why you got Tyson and Sheldon and John and all these guys? I'm like, man, those guys support me. They support me.
Yeah.
Driving to these indie shows. I don't live in Winnipeg. I live 25 minutes out of Winnipeg.
Okay.
Anybody that helps me with gas to get to Winnipeg, oh man,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hmm.
Anybody's going to buy every gimmick I put out. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're complaining about them? Come on, man. They're
Yep.
and those guys all buy the other guy's stuff too.
Okay.
Once I'm out, they're buying the other guy's stuff. I mean, it's a good deal, right?
God bless
Um,
them.
and they love wrestling.
Yeah.
So I know we were kind of bitching about Sheldon for a second, but he loves wrestling.
Oh yeah, and like
He
I say,
loves.
he's watching everything I put out. He's sharing it.
Mhm.
He's supporting the cause if anybody is. So when
Yeah,
Sheldon messages me, I'm busy. Believe me, I'm busy, but I take time for Sheldon.
yeah,
It's not a big complex conversation anyway, so I'll take time for Sheldon every
yeah.
day.
I
Yes.
just I just told myself, especially on Twitter, like so. I'm shit on Instagram. I don't even know how it works.
Same.
But it's crazy. So I used to post things on Instagram, and
Mm,
I'd post Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit.
okay.
That's what I'd post to share. But now, if I do that, if I post a hey, check out my new vlog on Instagram, and
Mm,
then I post it on Facebook, the Instagram post also shows up on the Facebook. I don't know.
yeah.
But if I
'Cause-
post on Facebook, it doesn't show up on Instagram. I don't know. If you
uh,
know that you can leave a comment down below that you can leave,
yeah, make
right?
that makes sense.
It just doesn't make sense. But I don't even know where the hell I was going with that. But I just don't know,
That's
man.
a point that needs to be made to Zuckerberg. It don't make sense to
Yeah,
rob Stardom, and he's
yeah.
doing all kinds of shit with the internet, and he can't
I'm
make
trying.
that work.
I'm trying to figure out how to monetize for young guys. I think I said I wrote a book. I need to publish on Amazon. I'm going to do that soon. I'm going to do that soon.
Well, you haven't written the last chapter yet.
No. Everybody gives me the Iggy. That's part two, right? It's really part two because it's a
Okay.
different business model altogether.
Yeah.
It used to be go to the show, wrestle, come back. Now it's how am I branding this? How am I getting my logo out? What am I going to do for my vlog? And how am I getting these other bookings? And like, how am I expanding my horizon? One of the big reasons I quit working for Primos
Mm-hmm.
was because there was just so many local shows. If I just did the local shows, I'd be busy,
Mm.
but I would just have the local audience.
Okay.
And sure, you'll get some YouTube, like there'll be some randoms, right? But I find that if I go to a new market, and first you're going to grow the audience just from the crew alone, like let's
Mm-hmm.
be honest, the crew, but then the fans, some of the fans, like everybody, it really does grow your audience and gets more people. The amount of humbling because I don't know, like I think I know, but I don't know how many people watch. But humbling when like most of the dressing room, the guys are like, "Why is your phone up? Why aren't you like filming some of this stuff?"
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I will. Let me just get through my match, or let me do this.
Good
Like,
man.
like they know what's coming. Because even the guys in Ohio, they're like, Did you watch that?
I did. I did. I had to because it was you and XVW. Like it was perfect for me.
Did you see like?
The,
I'm horrible with names. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
with
You
the
guys.
guys on your shoulder nibbling each other's ears and everything.
Yeah, the guy's like, I'm a bear. Like he told me, like I watch your stuff.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, man. And then the drunk, what's the drunk guy? You can tell. I need to get that guy on my Facebook. I don't know what his
Oh
name is.
man. Who did I recognize? You had Bruce Gray on there. He's a big deal here in West Virginia, but he just popped in for a second. He had long black hair.
Huh.
He
You
was
might
just
have to screenshot that to me because
yeah. He was only on there for a second, but like he's a pretty big deal. He's a part of DD Trash. It's him and Ronnie Mathis.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, you
And
had you had a superstar on there.
I hate going up to people I don't know saying, "Hey, can I do this, or can I?" And usually, if I'm coming up to you and we're talking, and I'll be like, "Hey, do you mind if I video?"
Yeah.
And everybody says no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But then the worst thing is I don't tell them what we're gonna do. I'm like, just work
Right.
with me here. Let's go. Let's go.
Uh huh.
And it's just sometimes it's cheesy, sometimes it's not. Whatever. Sometimes it's crazy. Sometimes people are really inappropriate. Like it's all over in left field. But
Imagine being less than a year deep and wanting to take the camera out backstage. It just a lot of times I just don't. You know,
yeah.
I know my place in the pecking order. Like you.
Oh yeah. I would have if you would have been in my locker room at a time. I would have been like, "Who's this fucking Mark?"
Yeah.
100% I would have. I would have said the same thing about me.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I'd have been like, fuck that Stardom guy. You tell him to shove his phone up his ass.
Right.
I
I
would have.
get it.
But the businesses have evolved. Like, and it's either you're going to evolve with it or you're going to be out of the business. And I love the business, so I need to keep evolving.
Yeah. And you are, man. Like I say, a lot of folks, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of Phil Picasso. A lot of people have taken the internet and using it in good ways.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
man.
I guess I was going on. Like, I'm really, I focus on trying to grow my Twitter.
Okay.
Although I don't know what the hell's going on Twitter because now it shows up on my phone as an X or
It's
whatever.
X now, baby.
It is what it is. But because everybody said like wrestling Twitter, that's. But I'm going to tell you, see, you probably know the secret. You probably know the secret because I think I've seen some of your posts too.
Mm-hmm.
Reddit is where you grow your audience the most.
Maybe I put some videos on there sometimes, and those people are hateful over on Reddit. So
They are, but so that Squared Circle group is
yeah,
the largest pro wrestling community in the universe.
okay,
There's 650,000 members,
mm-hmm.
and that's really like I don't want to say I want to like I try to teach the young guys about growing their brand and stuff like that, and I'm no expert at all, but like I keep telling them like there's certain things you need to really look at, and I do it bad. You shouldn't just post, hey, here's my new video.
Right.
You should be an active member in that community. Like,
I'm
but
guilty.
I can't because I don't want to talk about, I don't know,
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes being Brock Lesnar. I don't want to be like, oh man, that was good, or that was like that's not me. Like,
Nope.
I'm
I'm
not
to the
interested
point where people's opinion doesn't matter unless it's somebody in the business and above me. As far as like fans, I really don't care what you think. I have my opinion, and you're not going to sway it. That's the way I am. And as
But
far as
when I
go
look
ahead.
at my YouTube analytics,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that 20% are from Reddit.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
20%.
I don't get a lot of like external views. That's interesting. Well, you're
Yeah.
doing good on Reddit then.
So yeah, I strongly suggest any pro wrestler to go on to Reddit and figure it out.
Yeah.
I can't figure out Discord though. I don't know what that.
Yeah, that's just for your buddies the way I look at it. What about your audience? You got an audience in India? Because I'm starting to get an audience in India.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Shout out to India. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Rob Stardom thanks you as well. What we're going to do in the final 10 minutes here, Rob? You've been rocking and rolling, just pumping out knowledge left and right. What you got left in you, man?
What do you mean, left in the business or?
No, I tell you what, I didn't get around to this. Everybody's favorite segment. Give me a crazy road story, Rob Stardom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Because
Why does everybody say that? They're fun.
Well, I got the thing is, it's an easy one. That's
You're right.
easy. But I don't know what to tell you here. You're making
I can see the gears just misfiring at this point.
There's like 100. So I'll tell you, it's not even juicy. I'll be nice and relaxed. So
Okay.
if anybody, so nice and relaxed.
We'll take what we can get around here.
In the old days, we would drink and there would be a designated driver. But on these road trips, sometimes we'd all take our turns, and I can remember being sober and we were going to Wisconsin, and I have horrible I have laser eye surgery, so I have good eyesight now, but I have horrible eyesight. And a good friend of mine, who I won't say his name, but if he hears this, he'll know who it is. He's in the front seat with me, and I'm driving, and he's loaded. And he thinks I don't want to drive for some reason, which is true because I was blind. But he thought I didn't want to drive because I wanted to drink. And that's probably also true. But it's because I was blind. And I'm like, there's all these loopy-loops in that in the States, way more than Canada, I'll tell you. Way more in Canada. Okay. And I'm fucked. Like I'm like trying to go like the wrong way or whatever. And he's hot. He's like, we're like going back and forth. And he fucking punched me right in the face while I'm driving. he punched me in the face, and I turned around, I get hot. Like it wasn't a knockout punch or anything like that, but it was like a boom. And this is like a really, really, really good friend of mine. I would call him brother. Which my brother's punched me in the face. I punched him too. Remember I said wrestlers need to know what it feels like to get punched in the face. Um, punched me in the face, and all of a sudden, like it changes, right? And he starts crying. Rob, I'm so sore. Like he was so hammered, but it was I don't want to tell you. Like, probably lots of sexual stories that I could tell you about guys and me or whatever. But as on
Well,
the
save that for the book, by golly.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
No.
none of that. It's just like my vlog. It's 5-star bathrooms. No, none of that stuff happened.
Well, here, I got an idea. You started a Patreon, but it's anonymous. Then you can tell the sexy stories. Sexy stories of indie wrestling.
I'll tell you one that the wrestler. Well, I won't say his name, but he was he was a 60. Oh, this is horrible. I should say it. Are you
You
gonna think
gotta
I'm
give it
horrible? I
now.
already said it. Young wrestler on the road for maybe the first tour, and we were touring for the Canadian Wrestling Federation, the NWA, and I think I was the booker and the big guy there, and the kid's been pushing me, want to get drunk or whatever, and so we got beers. We always would have beers, and he had to go to 7-Eleven for something. He's like, Rob, can you hold my beer? Now I didn't pee in the beer, so don't get too excited about that.
Oh.
But I definitely took out my penis and put it right all over the tip of the beer bottle. And there was no cell phones back then, so the kid comes back, and I cheers him, and we do like the married thing like this.
Oh,
And
okay.
there was a picture of me and that guy, and then we told him, and a big joke, he brought it up maybe like 2 months ago to me. He's still in the business. He said, "You asshole." I'm like, I said, I only did it because I liked you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just think about the amount of times my brother, who was older than me, would like give me a wedgie or like give me a punch or whatever. Like, it's because he loved me. That's a different love now. It's different. You cannot do that now. Don't do that now. And to that person, I truly am sorry. Although I'm still chuckling a little bit, but it's not the right thing to do. Don't do that stuff. Don't do it.
Rob's a changed man. He's
Yeah.
evolved with the
Don't
times, by
punch
golly.
anybody in the face, although you should know what that feels like. I'm not telling any young wrestler to go into a bar and just randomly push a guy and get punched in the face, and then you can say it happened. I mean, I'm not telling you to do that, but you might know how to sell properly then.
But yeah, it might help. It might help. Hey, we're getting knowledge. We're getting tips from a veteran
The guy
here.
punches you in the eye and you're selling this. No, or like this. Come on, man. you gotta get punched.
Damn it. You've graced us with almost 2 hours of time, Rob. Nobody does that. I just let you keep going because I said, shit, this is great.
And I haven't even talked about anything. Like these guys are talking about YouTube and
No.
crazy stuff. I mean,
The tidbits and morsels, if somebody pays attention,
no, they
it's like
won't.
it's like being on a road trip with Rob Stardom. Isn't this not how you would talk if I was in your seat riding with you?
Well, it depends now. If I'm the passenger, and
Okay.
there's not that we would drink in this
No,
scenario, right?
never.
Like I definitely wouldn't drink, but yeah, I
Well, we're
definitely
at a
would.
bar then. We're not driving.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I talked to the young guys about being like they have to be. I don't want to use it. This is a horrible term about being men. That's not the right term.
Mm.
An adult. You
Yeah.
need to be an adult in this business and figure out like what you really want to do. If you want to be in the business to chase chicks or guys or whatever you're into, hey, that's great. But you want to be in this business to hopefully grow into whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
And there's guys that just want to chase tail. There's guys that want to just smoke weed. There's guys that just want to get drunk. There's guys that just want to wrestle. It makes no sense because they want to do flips. There's guys that want to try to make it. There's all these different guys. You got to try to get it all, everybody a happy family and get it all figured out. It's tough. There's no right answer.
Right.
But I give the young guys a hard time. With love, though. And the old Rob wouldn't have been with love.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
1,000,000%. If you start talking to some of the Winnipeg young guys now, and they were like referees. They're referees before they knew me, and I was maybe a little bit meaner.
Right.
And tell stories where I would like give a guy does something stupid, I give him a forearm, call him an asshole, and then hook up on him for a minute and stuff like that. That's not me. I'm definitely old me, and everybody's changed. Like I've changed 1,000,000%.
What do you think happened? What's
Well,
age, or was there a specific incident, or and what do you think happened?
part of it is I was a young guy once,
Mm-hmm.
and I think most of there was a time. This is horrible. I'm telling all my bad things where I didn't even want to know a young guy's name for 2 years.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know their name because most of them didn't last that long anyway.
Okay.
And like they tell me their name, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, hey, good to see you. Whatever, shake their hand.
Mm-hmm.
But most people some of them need that help. Like they need that help to get to wherever they want to go, and I really want to just help them get to wherever they want to go. And yeah, I don't know what happened. Like you can't say it's had kids because I had a kid when I was still give a potato
Okay.
for some of
Okay.
these young guys.
I
Like,
wondered. Okay.
me
Wasn't
and
the
my kid,
kids?
yeah, because my kid's old. My kid's 15 now, so
Mm-hmm.
like it's not that. Yeah, no, just I think it's because I love wrestling and want to stick around, and
Right.
it's different now. And the culture, not even pro wrestling, the world is different.
Yeah.
You go to a hockey tryout camp as a kid, as like an older kid, like 15, 16, and you're fighting. Like I'm not ribbing. Like you have to like you drop the gloves and you're fighting in the camp. Like,
Really.
yeah, like you do. Like you got to show them like you're playing in league different levels, right?
Yeah.
Fighting's a part of the game. If that's your spot, you're gonna fight. Nowadays, they there's face mask. Like it's everything's different, right? So again, you have to evolve, and you just have to evolve.
You did. God bless you, Rob Stardom. You've evolved. You're doing just fine in my mind. I'm not in your shoes, but you put off the appearance. You're doing that well, like you're doing just fine. I mean, you keep it real in the vlog. We see
Yeah,
sometimes you might have a cold and you hurt your foot, and still,
yeah.
what the hell you doing a whole battle royal with a busted foot? God
That
bless
was
you.
no good, man. That fucked me. I still having mobility issues. 100%. It's
Mm,
not 100%. I still having mobility issues. It makes it really tricky, and I don't want to blame 20 pounds and fat on that, but definitely has killed my cardio. But I'm doing other things to keep my cardio up because I went what did I go 27 minutes the other day in Dyersburg.
Chew.
No problem,
Oh
man.
yeah, Rob Stardom, ladies and gentlemen.
I
Man,
know you
we
want to get rid of me, so I'll let you go.
I'll keep you on forever, but I know you got Boogie's vlog to do.
That's right. That's right. And the kid's away, so we'll see what's on TV.
Oh, well, hell yeah. There you go. You got your beer, you got your motel TV.
My beer's almost empty. I only have one.
You only have one left. See?
Yeah,
Now you're running out of beer, too, so I know we got to wrap it up.
yeah, for
We don't
sure.
do 2 hour WrestleRonis, Rob Stardom. We don't.
And we haven't
So,
even talked about the business. That's a crazy thing.
we did talk about the business.
No, 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 no. Everybody be like, when is this guy going to talk about the business?
I think we covered some good topics. I really do. From a veteran that saw the business change, that has grabbed a hold of the internet and making it work for him. I think we got some good viewpoints, Rob Stardom.
Awesome, awesome.
I thought you were a positive dude.
I try to be. I try to be.
Okay.
There was a
you,
time when everything was bad. Everything was a shits.
well, you set the bar low, and then your expectations can be exceeded, right?
You've got veterans in your locker room where like everything's a shits. I'm sure they say that, right? I know it. I used to be me.
Oh man, I love you. Good. I, I really don't know where to go from here.
But that's because you know I'm right.
No argument from me, man. I'll ask you to hang on the line to the listeners. This is why we do it, man. Just incredible people, incredible journeys, incredible stories. Go out there and live your dream, but be kind to each other.
Yeah.
And what else do we do? We're kind and we show respect. And go live your dreams, man. Just go give it a try. Me and Rob's doing it, I think. Y'all,
There's
you
a
doing all right?
crazy. I think there's a crazy country song, and I like all kinds of music, but I think it goes like, "Just work hard and be nice to people." I think that's what the song is. Maybe Google it.
Google it and do it. Do it today. It's been 2 hours with Rob Stardom.
Yeah.
Hell, in a perfect world, we'll get him back one day and get 2 more hours out of him.
You can get 10 out of me, no problem. Especially if I had a 6-pack.
There we go. Well, let's start up the fun for the 6-pack. Let's make it happen. We love you. You got any last words, Rob?
Just thank you, everybody, and I really want to thank you, Spooky Lou. You don't get the credit you deserve. I think you're working hard. You always have pumped me up. Oh, Rob, you're a hardworking guy out there. You're doing all this stuff, but man, you're out there. Maybe you're not bumping and selling, but you're videoing and editing, which is more painful than bumping and selling. I'll tell that to every wrestler that's listening. So, domo arigato gozaimasu, my friend.
Well, thank you. It means a lot coming from you. I'm sweating while I'm running around that ring. For what it's worth, my fat ass is sweating. So
100%, 100%.
And I'm moving rings. I'm doing what I can do, Rob. So I appreciate
Wow,
it.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, well, hey, man, I love wrestling just as much. I don't know. I can't say just as much as you because I'm not in your head, but I love it a whole lot. Besides my wife
You
and
probably
kids.
love it way more than me because once you get older,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, we can't
I
compare
love.
the love.
I used to love wrestling, but now I love my kid
Yeah.
more than wrestling. You know, I love my wife more than wrestling. Like, before it was I love wrestling, but now all these different things, all these different things change. So I love my vlog kind of better than wrestling.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
But I need wrestling in the vlog. Although I made videos for another YouTube channel. It's not wrestling related, but I just was a coward and didn't post it.
Fair enough. You stick with
But
what you know and what you like, right?
but I know so much. I will someday. I will someday, Spooky Lou.
Let's
Maybe
do
I'll get
it.
rich.
Let's do it, man. Why not? Get another little revenue stream coming in, cross promote. Sky's the limit, baby.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I appreciate your kind words, man. Like, what I do, Rob, I find wrestlers that I like, and if I can pump them up and make them feel good, I'm doing my part for wrestling. So
Nice. Pump me up.
I will. Every time I see a damn blog, I try to comment. I can't keep up with you, though. You're pumping them out too fast, and I'm trying to edit. I
It's
can't watch and
diluting.
edit.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'll
diluting
catch
my
up.
views. But okay, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, man. I'm holding you up. To the listeners, I told you what to do. Go live your life. You've been watching this shit for 2 hours. Go fucking do something. Bye.